The life of a CEO. Legit dealings is starting to pick up and it's looking all good. All good indeed. This nice shiny new office. Oh, I think someone's in here. Let's... Ah!
All right, boss.
Alright, how you doing, Andy? How you doing? So,
Whose shiny stuff are we acquiring through completely legitimate means today?
well, we got to do some headhunting and we'll have a talk about the NXT Takeover, the end of the beginning. So, sound good?
Sounds good to me.
So, yeah. But we've got some other business to sort out. Reb is actually with us as well. She's just going to be hanging around for the ride. Like, there's my executive. Hiya, how you doing? Welcome to This is Legit Dealings. So we better go outside and go and grab my car. But before we talk about NXT Takeover, the end of the beginning, let's all exit to ground on foot. How about talking about the New Japan match that's been making a big buzz? Ricochet versus Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I linked you to it. I heard a lot of buzz, like from different sites like SE Scoots, What Culture, things like that. And lucky New Japan put it out for free.
Yeah, and what a match it was. I always do like kind of a bit of mental, fast-paced, high-flying stuff. So it was certainly a nice change of pace from the usual WWE stuff.
Yeah, well, we've got the Cruiserweight series coming up for the WWE, which we'll probably cover in the future. But that's going to have some British wrestlers in there, which are pretty damn awesome as well.
Some of which are coming up through a UK promotion called Progress that I was advised to check out.
Yeah, there have been on TV quite a bit. Oh, there's Rebel just coming in here.
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a buzz around Progress at the moment, and for good reason. So if some of those guys are some of those guys are taking part because Progress hosted a couple of the qualifying rounds.
Oh, you got the car there.
We were ejected from the car.
Oh,
we're taking individual vehicles then.
No. Reb just got back in.
All right.
So, yeah, like that match was just insane. What they've done, like all the moves they pulled out, and there was no commentary on it, which was nice. You could hear what they were saying in the ring. Yeah, there was quite a lot of swearing, to be fair, by Ospreay. But
yes, definitely. It's quite strange in a way, kind of to be reminded of how these things.
Just
having swearing from the wrestlers and from the crowd. It's it's a bit of a.
Yeah.
I suppose maybe a little bit jarring when you're used to the usual WWE run of the mill.
Yeah, but we've got the Cruiserweight Classic to look forward to, or Global Series, whatever it's going to be called. But shall we start on NXT itself and start with Ty Dillinger versus what's his name again?
Andrade Almas.
Andre Cien Almas. Short 5 minute.
Beforehand, because I never remembered it otherwise.
Yeah, short 5 minute match that was.
Yeah, nice short debut for him. I was expecting the match to go a bit longer than it did.
Yes, same here.
Because there were only 5 matches on the card. Not that I'm complaining at all. You know, a good match. It was great. Great to see Dillinger back on a takeover show.
Yeah. And he's quite over. He's really over with the crowd, especially since he's heel as well, which is unusual.
Not only is he heel, but he's also been.
You break. I can't hear you, Andy. Sorry. You just broke up there.
Right. What was I saying? Yeah. It's surprising not that he's getting over so well, not just because he's heel. Not that really stops people in NXT, because people kind of get behind a good character regardless. But the fact is, Dillinger, if I remember rightly, I don't think we've actually seen him on a takeover since Brooklyn last year.
Yeah, that
So
sounds about right.
it's been a while. He's kind of been passed over for the big shows. He's not been involved in any big storylines, and he's
No,
basically been losing a lot of
he's
matches to get his opponents over.
he's been like the jobber of NXT, but a very successful one as well.
Yeah, it's nice to see that he's not losing momentum with the crowd
No,
in spite of that. I
yeah,
like Dillinger. I'd like to see more of
yeah.
him.
And Andre, he was looking good, and that bit he did over the top of on the turnbuckles, that was pretty impressive. And obviously
I
Ty,
like what I've seen so far.
yeah, and he was actually a masked wrestler as well.
So I,
In the-
uh,
yeah, and I saw something about Triple H interview afterwards on Facebook Live about him. Like, he's such a good-looking guy. Why was he wearing a mask? He was saying, and that's all the targets down. So yeah, it's a good match. Good spot by them, like with Andre being in the corner with his looks like signature like head on the corner, and Dillinger doing a kick to the head.
mm.
That was like, wow, that's pretty good, you know. So
And
yeah.
as well, bear in mind as well, with it being
Gotta get.
an NXT debut,
Hmm.
you very rarely get to see people's full potential in the debut matches.
Yeah.
They tend to have people hold back in their early performances. So I'll be very, very interested to see what happens over his next few appearances.
Yeah, exactly.
So I reckon we've not seen half of what that guy can do.
No, I can imagine sometime in the future for Ty, probably going for the title, possibly. Damn it, I got caught by the police there. Could see Ty going for the title. Don't know, but it could happen. I need somewhere to get away from. Down here, yeah. Just trying to find a safe spot. Oh, bit of lag there. But I could see him possibly getting the title. Maybe one day.
I'm not so sure he's. I'd see the title on him. I think there's too many other big players in NXT at the moment.
Yeah, we'll come round to some of them later.
I'd like to see him maybe get involved in a number one contender storyline, perhaps. Either that, or I'd like to see him get a decent feud that he can sustain for a while with somebody.
Yeah.
Give him an actual storyline to work with.
Yeah. So we go on to the next match on the card, and that's a tag team match.
Yes,
yeah,
the Revival
winning
their rematch against American Alpha.
Yeah, and becoming 2-time tag team champions. And never before we've had 2-time champions in NXT. They're the first to do it.
Yeah, that came as a bit of a surprise, I think, to most people.
Yeah.
It was a good, solid match. To be honest, this was kind of more like what I was expecting the match at Dallas to be like.
Yeah.
A bit more back and forth with the Revival really trying to ground and pound. I thought this was what we were going to get in Dallas, and that turned into more of a high-speed spot fest, which I absolutely adored.
Yeah. But talking about spots, the reverse of the double team into the belly-to-belly suplex.
That was phenomenal.
I was like, no one knew what happened until the replay. We were like, what the hell just happened? We're like, oh my god,
I love stuff like that. And what was the other one where Gable went over the rope in the corner and locked on an armbar as he did it?
Yeah. It's like, and then they had that nice little spot for all four of them going into the ankle locks.
Yeah, those guys, Jordan and Gable, they are amazing to watch in ring.
Yeah.
I don't have a single bad word about those two.
It's taking them a while to get to the spot they're at the moment, but they've done so well because wasn't it Jason Jordan rejecting Chad Gable for quite a long time in NXT before they became a tag team? I quite remember it being like that.
I don't think I saw things quite that far back. I think they
Yeah,
were already a tag team when I first saw them,
yeah,
and um, they were getting into doing their absolutely wonderfully
yeah,
cheesy promos.
yeah.
Uh,
But it was some match really, well worth a watch. Even though American Alpha lost, but they still could be good things for them.
yeah,
Losses don't always mean failures.
yeah. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's
Mm,
fair to do that. I think it was time to change things up a little bit
mm,
in the tag division.
mm,
There's been a bit of a trend amongst a lot of the title matches
mm,
in the kind of year or so where I've been watching, where they'll keep the belts on somebody for a very, very long period of
mm,
time, and
yeah.
then they'll transfer the belt to somebody else for a very long period.
Mm.
Um,
You both should have invites, just so you know.
just accepting now.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, about them. It's nice sometimes to see some faster changes every once in
Mm,
a while.
yeah.
It's also nice to see that a team that's lost isn't suddenly becoming the jobbers for the next generation
Yeah.
of teams coming up, like we've
Yeah.
seen happen with Blake and Murphy.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
what?
once there seems to be a thing in NXT that once the tide starts to turn,
Yeah.
that suddenly the previously successful competitors suddenly become
Mm,
a bit of a joke, really, and
yeah. They lose all their momentum.
it's nice. Yeah, it's nice to see that they're not necessarily breaking the trend completely, but
Mm,
at least not becoming too predictable.
yeah. Exactly. But what was the next match we'll talk about? We're on to match 3. Nakamura versus Aries. 2 veterans of the ring. And great show.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Uh,
The Death Valley driver on the ring apron by Aries. I've seen Aries in the past when he was in TNA many years ago, like early TNA stuff. When like people like like when Samoa Joe and AJ Styles were there and things like that. When TNA was good, Aries was there. I think he was in Ring of Honor when I was watching that at the time, and yeah, they put on a fantastic show for everyone.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree.
Mm,
I know I was saying when Dallas rolled around that
mm,
I'd heard Aries was a big deal. I hadn't seen
mm,
any of his prior work. I didn't really know what to make of
mm,
him, and I didn't think the match in Dallas
mm.
portrayed him at his best.
No,
Um,
no.
since then, we've had a few good matches on the weekly TV tapings.
Yeah.
We've seen that he's a fantastic in-ring performer. He's a
Mhm.
great promo.
Yeah.
I like the guy. I'm very, very interested to see what they do with him. I think
Yeah.
I think he's one of the guys who could
Mm.
absolutely have top billing.
Yep. Exactly.
And
Even
the
in
match,
even in the
he
main
had,
roster.
yeah, definitely. And the match he had with Nakamura was absolutely
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Well,
I
what do you expect from Nakamura at times? You know.
well, that's the thing. You combine those two, and
Yeah.
wow. I hope to keep that feud going. I hope those two keep meeting along
Yeah.
the way, maybe be the number one contenders, maybe facing off for a championship down the line.
Yeah.
I don't think they necessarily need to do it as a kind of feud that just keeps going and keep going and keep going. I think they can kind of keep have these guys just keep
Yeah.
crossing paths every once in a while.
Yeah.
And those two are great together. ring. Let's make it happen more.
Yeah, exactly.
It was one of those matches. It really didn't matter who won it either.
No. But they're really pushing Nakamura because he must have cost WWE a lot of money to bring in. So, Aries not as much, but Nakamura, like, he's had Match of the Year candidate with Styles earlier this year. So, he must have been hot money to just have him there. Oh, there's Reb. I was wondering where Reb was. It's like, where are you? But I could see that them going, like, possibly another match, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. But the whole match generally was an awesome display of what they can do. So we're on to the women's match.
Yes.
Bit different.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bayley, in storyline terms, she wasn't able to compete for the title, re-challenge for the title. I think we've got everyone here, haven't we, now?
Looks like.
Yeah. So she wasn't able to compete for the title, which is a shame. But Nia Jax took her out basically, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was a logical reason to take Bayley out of the title picture temporarily, so they could do a Nia Jax Asuka match instead.
Yeah, and give Nia Jax a lot more freedom, shall we say?
Yeah.
She has improved since her match with Bayley at NXT London.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're all getting in, yeah.
Yep, let's go for it.
Yeah, she has improved since then. You can see it. Her and Asuka put on a good show. And it was really worth it.
Yeah, it was pretty much what I was hoping it would be.
Yeah. I feel the finish was a bit quick in a way. Nia Jax was dominating for so long, and then suddenly Asuka pulls it out of the bag last moment, like traditional babyfaces do at times. But I was hoping it would be a few more strikes, shall we say? You know.
Yeah, I would agree. Nia Jax is a strange one. I am generally not a huge fan of watching her wrestle.
Yeah, same here.
She's the big monster who's kind of goes for the brute strength and knocks her opponent down, so her opponent doesn't really do much enough, and it makes for usually a fairly slow, quite a bland match.
Yeah.
I could see why some people would like that. That's not what I personally look for in a good match.
Yeah.
So, her match a few weeks ago with Bayley was a perfect example of a match
dominating.
that I'm not a big fan of watching.
Yeah, dominating everything and being a bit too much.
And I thought the same thing back when Bayley took on Nia Jax in Takeover London as well.
Yeah.
They did a good job with the storytelling, but I didn't really enjoy it as a match.
Yeah. So I'm just doing a flip. Doing a loop-de-loop. Why not?
Yeah. So, coming back around to this match, this one I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
Because Asuka is a logical opponent to put her up against.
Yeah.
Asuka has the extra strength and isn't likely to be out-muscled. She's got means of actually being able to do damage to Nia Jax and fight back.
Yeah.
And she's got the technical ability to out-wrestle her.
Yeah. All I can see from that match, obviously Asuka being champion for a while, as you said earlier, they're just putting titles on people for a while. But Nia Jax did look a legit threat for the title again.
Yes.
But she's not quite ready for having the title. Because at the end of the day, it's not still kind of working on her in-ring and everything like that, making sure she does everything correctly, you know. She's not quite ready for the actual title just yet. Did I? Yeah. Okay. So I'm just checking the gear there. so she's not quite ready. But having Asuka going over was probably the best thing to do, business sense as well. Making sure that she does well with it. Has a nice little run with the championship. Am I lined up? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm just. It's a bit murky.
They need to, and they really are making the best of Asuka. She is a phenomenal talent.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch her old matches, see what she was like before WWE.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit! That's a bit. I landed this perfect earlier. I'm just not getting it this time round. Oh, right on the edge of the runway there. But I want to see her old matches, see how much of a strong style she was. She's still very interesting to do it in the ring in general.
Yeah, I just love her approach all around. You know, she's got the strikes that look legitimately nasty. She's got the great technical skills where she can she can chain wrestle and lock in a move out of nowhere. She's got the great body language. She really doesn't have to say anything. She can say everything with a look.
I was hoping when she debuted, she'll be like NXT version of Goldberg in a way. Oh, I've just dinged as well, 132. Like she'd be like not talking, like just kicking ass all the time.
And it's pretty much what they've done. You know, she hasn't lost a match yet. She's said very little. I mean, let's face it, her contract signing with Nia Jax, her opening line was, "You talk too much."
Yeah, she just wants to kick everyone's ass, really, at the end of the day. And shall we go on to the final match of the night? Finn Balor, Samoa Joe again. Bit of background, if you're not really following NXT too much, but Samoa Joe captured at a house show of all places for the NXT title, which was a shock in itself to have a title change in a house show. It hasn't happened for a long time. And what are your thoughts when it changed?
I suppose as much surprise as everybody else, especially seeing as Balor had just retained at Dallas. I was probably, like a lot of people, speculating a bit on why they might have done it. I was wondering whether Balor was about to get the call up to the main roster with the debut of the guys from Bullet Club. I know some people were speculating that perhaps Balor had injured his ankle during the match. And
everyone into my car. We're doing quick sites here, so.
All right, just one sec. I'll just deposit some cash.
Yeah.
A few people were wondering whether Balor had sustained an injury during the match and thought he might need to switch the title in case he was going to be out with injury for a bit.
Yeah.
But I genuinely don't know.
Yeah. Just waiting for Reb to get in the car now. Hey, Reb.
Hold on. I'm just putting the cash in my bank.
Okay. You could have done it in the car. But, yeah, going on to the match. Obviously, this is the end of the feud, which is why pretty much all this NXT has been called the end. And one interesting note, the steel cage, how it came down. And it was a smaller height steel cage as well. Did you notice that?
I hadn't, but it's been a while since I've actually seen a steel cage match as opposed to a Hell in a Cell.
Because I watched the Asylum match, Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, and basically the cage was above their heads, like the top of it, when they're standing on the ropes. But this one, they could easily be over the top of their, like they're above the cage. Because Balor's quite a small guy, to be fair.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just like, and I was like, that's the first thing I noticed, it was a smaller cage. But it's obviously the restrictions of where they are at Full Sail.
Yeah, it's how big a cage can you actually get on that ring?
Yeah. Yeah, and the way they brought it down was pretty cool. Oh, gone the wrong way. Let's reverse up. I could have gone across there, never mind. But, yeah, like having Balor going up to the top of the cage on the well, start with Balor's entrance actually. To be fair, because he had all the cages in front of him, like a cage demon, which I
Yes.
thought was pretty damn cool actually.
And then pushing the cage over so that
Yeah.
he could come down to the ring.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice little touch they did. Whereas then they had Joe just come out normally and having Balor doing other bits on it, like going up to top of the cage, doing his standard stuff with the hands and everything. You're in the driving seat, yeah?
Yep, I'm in
Cool.
the seat.
Oh, missed that one. Having to do his hands and everything was pretty cool. You know, they had to do. He had to do it really. And
Yeah,
no one,
they took full advantage of the cage
Yeah.
being there to as
They
part
had-
of Balor's over the top entrance.
yeah, because he couldn't do it as per norm. You know, they just had to do it like properly like that. But the match itself, good back and forth match. They used the cage to good effect. Good few spots, including like Balor getting hung up on his crotch. By pure accident, I think that was like it was planned, but in wrestling terms, it was a pure accident. Joe just went onto ropes and it dislodged Balor's feet. The sling blade. Oh, Reb's dropped out. It seems. Don't know what's happened there, but having the sling blade off the top rope and the finish as well. What do you think of the finish? The muscle buster off the second rope.
It was a damn good way to finish. You
Yeah.
knew there was going to be something from a high spot somewhere along the lines.
Yeah.
I was half expecting at least a coup de grace attempt from the top
Yeah.
of the.
I was
the
so
cage.
hoping. I was hoping for a coup de grace. I was like, oh please, you're going to the top now. Please, coup de grace. Come on. He just teased us all the time, but they didn't do it because it is a dangerous move. To be fair, especially coming from the top. Location's already there.
Oh yeah, going for it.
But doing it from the top is a bit too dangerous. Doing from the top rope is quite dangerous anyway, but from the top,
Yeah.
no. Double stomp to the chest. That probably could kill a person, even with them guys.
That said, they have done it off a ladder.
Yeah. Probably. It was Kevin Owens was probably
Yes.
happy with that.
Mm.
You know, whereas Joe probably wasn't as happy off the top of cage.
I mean, to be honest, they didn't need to do it, but
No.
they also could have done it and had it miss.
Yeah, could have done it and done that. It would have been quite good. But you know, it was a good fun match. Nice way to end the feud.
I like the way they're working with the characters as well. Joe's character has changed since he won the title, because prior to it, he was a monster on a rampage, desperate to get the title that he rightfully thought was his. Now that he's got it, he's a lot quieter. He's got kind of that calm menace about him.
Yeah.
That sense of
He's
I'm
scary.
the champ. I've got what I want. I'm cool. But you set foot in the ring and come after what's rightfully mine, and I will destroy you.
Yeah, because as I said earlier, I watched him in TNA when he was back then. He was a monster back then as well, especially in the X Division, because with TNA's X Division in the past, it was for the fast guys and things like that, not cruiserweight, shall we say. But he was menacing, he was scary, and it's like, ooh, don't want to touch him. But it was one of them great things that he's just come across. He's becoming his own champion in a way.
Yeah, it's lovely, quite subtle character work.
Yeah, and looks like his problem's solved. What? Okay, that's a really random message from Lester. Well, it looks like my problem's solved. Thank you. I'm like, but he's been quite menacing and being good about it. I'm quite happy he's champion. He's going to have people coming in his way. I don't know who's going to be next on the thing on the card for him, but they're probably going to do number 1 contenders and get someone that he could probably have for a bit, and then obviously you never know what could happen because next main big event is NXT Brooklyn.
Yes,
but I think going to what we saw on like a cutaway shot with William Regal, Bobby Roode is probably going to be the next challenger for Joe by the looks of things.
Or at least in the championship picture.
Yeah, because they've acknowledged Roode as a former world champion at Dallas when he was in the crowd, and him showing up in the background going to speak to Regal. It's like, that's interesting. It's interesting to see what's going to happen there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting the next couple of months what's going to happen, and especially a new tag team coming in with Road Warriors former manager taking out American Alpha. So we're just going to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued to see what happens next with the tag teams.
Yeah,
it's nice to see a bit of momentum starting to build up there again, because you've got Gargano and Ciampa back in the mix. You've got the I forget the name of the team now. The couple of Australian guys who came in a couple of
I know
weeks ago.
Yeah, because they made big noise around the world. They have already.
Yeah,
so
I could see why they, their debut match. They were, they've clearly got talent.
Yeah, and there's loads of other talent as well, just pushing to be there, which is going to be like next couple of months is going to be interesting. Like the rebuild of the women's division, because it's obviously Bayley's going to have a call up sometime soon. So they've got to rebuild the women's division with Carmella there as well as Asuka, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, people like that. They've got to build that women's division back up again because they've lost the four horsewomen.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what they do there. I definitely want to see more of Alexa Bliss. She's a phenomenal.
Yeah, because she's split from Blake and Murphy, so
talent. Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how that works out. But yeah, she's a talent we definitely need to see more of. I'm interested to see what they do with some of the other women, because it seems a little bit strange to me that they've got people coming up the chain that you keep seeing put in an appearance, like Peyton Royce, and they seem to lose every single time.
Yeah.
It surprises me that at a time where they kind of need to be starting to build the next generation of big stars in the women's division, that they seem to be almost burying some of the up-and-comers.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we'll leave it on that note. The next event is NXT Takeover in Brooklyn, which is going to be another awesome weekender. Obviously, you've got SummerSlam during that. I'll probably be watching that. You probably won't be, as we've discussed in the past. You're just not interested in the main product.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah. I'm definitely going to be watching the whole event, because why not? It's there. We're probably going to touch on sometime in the future. I don't know when. Is it September that the Cruiserweight Clash finishes?
I don't know. I've not seen the dates for it. I keep hearing that it's happening.
Yeah.
But I don't tend to pay that much attention to what's happening down the line. I kind of stick with it week by week.
Yeah, but we've got the Cruiserweight Classic coming up. We'll probably go and touch on that for another video for Grand Press Wrestling, because that's probably going to be quite awesome, to be fair, especially with all the British stars that have been coming up. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I've been Mush. This has been Andy as well. And thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.